these conspiracy theories. We have to stop getting caught up in these conspiracy theories. And we, especially as a people of color, a people of the sun, we must understand who we are and what's happening outside of the matrix, okay? Mm-hmm. Which means do not get caught up in their matrix of believing everything that you see. And do know that some of the things that they present are illusions to keep you in fear of what, or making you think that they have more power. What you got to say, Brother Digger? Because I hear it.
I agree with that. I mean, like, they can only do what you allow because you feed into the energy that, you know, you believe it and you can manifest things just by your thought. I think that's why they put a lot of shit out there, because they know if they can get a certain group of people or a certain amount of people to agree with something they putting out, eventually that'll manifest. I think that's why they make certain movies about certain things before they even have the technology to do it, because people will start believing that they can manifest that and it'll happen.
Exactly. So now, Courtney, hey sister, I was just talking about you because you just came on here. I love the fact that you gave me something to talk about tonight. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm going to share this with the people. If y'all haven't heard it, my sister Courtney, she put it on the page. Okay. It says, Bill Gates thinks a coming disease could kill 30 million people in 6 months.
That sound like that's what they've been putting on all the movies, though. When you think about it, with the World War Z, all these zombie movies, all these people getting affected, half the world population is wiped out and stuff like that. I think that's what all these movies were about. Remember the other night we was like, I said, God damn, another zombie movie? It's like they make about 15 a year.
Well, I mean, you know if anybody who's going to do some population control is going to be nature, okay? It's going to be nature. And what we got to understand is that, again, you don't want to get caught up in their illusion, because we do know, you see, and for the Christians who may be watching, you know, you say it in your Bible, and it was really an African proverb, death and life is in the power of a tongue. And then in the Bible, it talks about you being the gods. So if you are the gods, you understand you have the ability to create, to manifest, to do all of that, right? So they know what time we're in. We're in the transformation. And we, as beings, human beings, are becoming more spiritual, which makes us more powerful. Okay? So now let me go on to the article, because, you know, what's crazy about this is that we've known over the past that they have created many diseases. Okay? They have created many diseases.
AIDS being one of them.
You see? So with saying that, I don't doubt that this is something they're going to try and create. And I'm going to tell y'all what I spiritually see. Brother Dinko, I would appreciate if you tap into your first eye to see too. Okay? Really, because people want to know about this, because people are really going to get scared when they see this. People are going to be afraid because they already know what they did. Look at AIDS. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Look at what so-called happened with the Ebola virus, okay? So now people are going to really get in fear. You're talking about 30 million people that's supposed to die within 6 months because of this disease that they think they're going to create. Now, it said if there's one thing... Go ahead.
You know, it's fun. Go ahead and read that, because I got something to say about, once you finish that, about the Ebola virus, because it's interesting that you brought up the Ebola virus.
Okay, now Bill Gates, this is family, this is what it is. Bill Gates thinks a coming disease could kill 30 million people within 6 months, and we're not ready. We need to prepare for this like we prepare for war. If there's one thing we know from history, is that a deadly new disease will arise and spread around the globe. That could happen easily within the next decade, okay? And as Bill Gates told listeners on Friday at a discussion about epidemics hosted by the Massachusetts Medical Society and the New England Journal of Medicine, we're not ready, okay? Now, hold on. It says Gates acknowledged he is usually the optimist in the room, reminding people that we're lifting children out of poverty around the globe and getting better at eliminating diseases like polio and malaria. I don't know how true that is, because the last I heard, and I forgot, what's the other guy's name that used to be dealing with Gates on y'all know, he was talking about global warming. What was his name?
The politician.
Yeah, the politician. Something Perot. Dale Quayle or something. I don't know. One of them politicians. No, not Ross Perot. One of them. I don't know what the hell his name is. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The
I
hell
think
I
it's
just
Dan
see shit
Quayle.
get bugged over there and shit. What the hell is that? I just seen something go up and down. Look on the floor, make sure I no damn spider. Okay? Look. So anyway, he's saying, but there's one area though where the world isn't making much progress, and he said, and that's pandemic preparedness. Okay? Now, new pathogens emerge all the time as the world population increases and humanity encroaches on wild environments. It's becoming easier and easier for individual people or small groups to create weaponized diseases that can spread like wildfire around the globe. First of all, let me just say this. Spiritually saying, they ain't got to do a damn thing. Nobody asked you to depopulate a goddamn thing. Who the hell y'all think y'all are? Stop trying to do what nature's job is. So with saying that, there's enough land in this world right now to hold all 7 billion people. Let's not make a mistake about it. And this is what pisses me off with them, because they try to take control of shit. They ain't got no business putting their hands in, and they're in there trying to do, you know what, Mother Nature's job. And what's going to happen, y'all, is because we are in a transformation, and this is spiritually saying, let me tell y'all something. Everything they try to do from this point on, from I'm gonna say within the last 6 months on, is going to backfire on them. Because as I told y'all when we did last week, when we was talking about the wrath of mother coming, not the warning, but the wrath, I told y'all, I said, mother's bringing her wrath. So if there's anybody who's going to give out some diseases, it's going to be Mother Nature. And if she does take 30 million people, she knows what the goddamn hell she's doing. Because at the end of the day, they are doing too goddamn much. And like I always say, their doing is going to be their very own undoing. So they need to sit their asses down somewhere like they got sense and stop trying to control nature and create shit out of nature. Now, according to this, they're saying it's going to be like a new pathogen emerge, okay? And they're blaming it on the world's population.
It says small pockets of groups. So that means, you know what that tells me? It tells me that they're going to pick certain races to, like, plant this in. Just like what they did with the AIDS virus and the AIDS epidemic. They placed it in gay men, and then, you know, then they placed it in Africa first, and they placed it in the gay men and all of that, and then it spread throughout. But it backfired on them because what they were trying to do, but it's not even a killer of gay people anymore. You know what I mean, like that. So, but what I was getting back to the Ebola thing. What I spiritually see is what they were experimenting with Ebola. And that's what they wanted to do. Because when you look at Ebola, it breaks down the body and it does the same thing, almost like the when you look at these zombie movies. You notice how they start, like their body boils from the inside out and blood and stuff start coming. It's the same. Ebola kills people like that the same way. And that's why they were experimenting, because they've been experimenting with Ebola for a long time.
Okay. Well, Markea says, but the crazy about it is that they have these patents on the viruses years before due to their global depopulation tactics and Ebola.
Yeah.
Well, Michaela, but you know what's crazy about it too? Is that we're in a different time and a different day. And nature is transforming as everything is transforming. Like I said, we as a human race are transforming at a cellular level. The body is changing, and they can't do a goddamn thing about it. And it all comes back to when I told you all, because of this transformation, everything, the animals are going through transformation, the cosmos, the planets, the trees, the insects are going through a transformation. And the thing about it is nothing they can do about it. They're not invincible, okay? So, have to understand is that, you know, it's a lot of this stuff is scare tactics. A lot of this stuff is for people to begin to, you know, or continue to fear and begin to fear even more, so these things can begin to manifest. You know what I mean? So they can begin to manifest. So with saying that, what we have to understand is that if you are in agreement of this type of energy taking place, then your world is going to take place. But I do know what I see spiritually, and I know spiritually, like I said before, family, their doing will be their very own undoing. Okay? So all that they're doing now is actually